Secretary Lutnick. Thanks for being here today. I want to pick up on what Mr. Morelli was talking about, and I'll use the word stability. And I think you know this from your many years in business. And that's what I thought about as I was preparing for today. The importance of stability, or as he said, predictability. Stability is the foundation of economic growth. I think you've lived it. Businesses need clear and predictable rules to plan and to invest for the future. Given this administration's claim of being pro-business and pro-growth, I am so baffled by the discussions around trade deficits and the president's belief around trade deficits and the president's beliefs around tariffs and the chaotic tariff policy. They're on, they're off. Many of the tariffs are punishing, creating a level of instability and uncertainty in our economy that we haven't seen since COVID. I hear the same thing over and over from constituents, from small businesses, from bankers in my area. They can't figure out how to plan, how to lend. Businesses can't figure out how to expand, how to grow, whether to hire, whether to not hire. And I'd heard just literally this morning from a very large American retailer. First word out of the woman's mouth was uncertainty, and the last thing she said to me was uncertainty, all surrounding tariffs. The lack of predictability. I also serve on the Foreign Affairs Committee, was recently in UK and Denmark, met with the American Chamber in both countries. Confused, uncertain, they can't figure it out. What in God's name is going on? We cannot plan to grow businesses. We cannot plan to grow growth and jobs. So I am baffled, absolutely baffled, by this administration's talk around trade deficits and tariffs. I fear the administration lacks a basic understanding of what a trade deficit is. I think many economists take issue with equating a country's trade deficit with any one country and its economic well-being. Some economists actually view a trade deficit as a sign of a country's economic health because it means we're purchasing more. For me, I have a pretty large trade deficit with my local grocer or my hairdresser. It's a good thing. It means I have money enough to get my hair done once in a while and to keep food on the table. It tells nothing about my overall financial position. Do you know when this country actually had a trade surplus, Secretary?
The president likes to speak about before.
No, historically. When did we have a trade surplus? I'm not talking about the president. Historically.
I think early, about 100 years ago.
It was the Great Depression. It was a sign of what was going on. It was during the Great Depression. That's a direction none of us wants to go. Tariffs. It's 90 days. We're going to have 90 deals in 90 days. Then there's a 90-day pause. Many of these tariffs, as they say, punishing. Tariffs on things that make no sense whatsoever. Where are we going to go with the remaining deals? I know of one deal that has been apparently resolved with the United Kingdom. We got 89 more deals to do in just a few more days. Where are we on those deals?
We are in the midst of negotiations with dozens and dozens of countries. We could sign deals, but they're only going to get better as we negotiate them.
That's just simply not true. Because as I told you, the American—
Actually, I promise you it's true because I'm doing it. So I promise you it is true, and I'm here testifying in front of you, and I promise you it's true.
And Mr. Trump promised to bring down the cost of goods day one. And what he has done through his trade deficit fixation and his tariff chaos has nakedly increased the cost of goods. The estimates are that for consumers in my area, suburban Philadelphia, $2,000 at least a year increases on goods. I'll give you an example of one. Bananas. What's the tariff on bananas? Americans, by the way, love bananas. We buy billions of them a year. I love bananas. What's the tariff on bananas?
The tariff on bananas would be representative of the countries that produce them.
And what's that tariff?
Generally 10%.
Correct, 10%. Walmart has already increased the cost of bananas by 8%.
But as countries do deals with us, that will go to zero. as countries do deals with
But
us,
the
that will
cost
go
is
to
on the
zero.
American consumer now and on the businesses with the confusion now. Mr. Secretary, I believe you know better. I believe you recognize that a trade deficit is not something to fear. I believe you know that predictability, stability is essential for businesses. I wish you would show that truth to this administration, and I yield back.
Time of the gentlelady has expired.
Do you mind, Mr. Chairman, if I make one quick comment to the end? Would that be okay?
I'm sorry?
Would you mind if I make one quick comment to the representative?
Please.
There's no uncertainty if you build in America and you produce your product in America, there will be no tariff.
We can't
So the
produce bananas
concept
in
of
America.
building in America and paying no tariff
We cannot-
is very, very clear.
We cannot
Fighting for
build
imports
bananas
is
in
not the same.
America.
Time of the gentlelady has expired. Mr. Clyde?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And thanks for hanging around for a second round. I wanted to first, Mr. Chairman, just offer for the record some articles and documents. The first is a Washington Post article of this week entitled, "We Are Witnessing the Suicide of a Superpower." The second is, as Ranking Member revealed, the report from Yale Budget Lab titled "The State of U.S. Tariffs, June the 1st of this year." One of the highlights, American consumers face the highest average tariff rate they have endured since 1938, the Great Depression. The next one, U.S. Trade document, U.S. Trade Representative titled "Reciprocal Tariffs Calculations and the Flawed Formula." I'm sure you know this formula very well, Mr. Secretary. It is incoherent and flawed. I enter that for the record. And a New York Times article, April 7th, the Trump White House cited my research to justify tariffs. It got it all wrong. And the final one, which was revealing of my use of the banana here, "Bananas to car seats. Walmart warns of price rise due to tariffs." For the record. Without objection? Thanks so much. I want to ask you about, I was interested in what you said to Mr. Morelli in terms of the mission and some of the language you used, the mission of your department, to protect, defend, and enhance business in America. That was a good summary?
Sounds good.
I think that's what you said. I tried to write it down fast.
Still sounds good.
I just wonder, did you personally, or your department, whose mission that is, have any problem with the president's recent trips overseas or the development of his business and his family's business around Bitcoin, meme coin, fundraising, or investor raising dinners? Any worry with the Department of Commerce, with the president and his family growing their own business while on the job?
My trip to the Middle East was extraordinary in that
sure.
we came
I'm
home with
asking you about-
$5.1 trillion of investment in America.
Mr.
It was
Lutnick.
amazing.
Mr. Lutnick, I'm asking you, did the question of conflict of interest come up for the leader of the free world?
No.
No? I think you ought to have a team of lawyers take a look at that. It is grotesque, the way this president is using his office to enrich himself, his businesses, and his families. That ought to be something you're interested in. I want to tell you something I agree with you on, and I agree with the president on, the closing of the de minimis loophole. You're absolutely right. It hurts retailers when stuff comes in here, package after package, order after order, under $800, no tax, no tariff, no review. It hurts retailers. But I know the other reason that I believe the president is interested in that is in tackling the precursors of fentanyl and making sure these packages don't come in unabsorbed, unknown, and then off to Mexico to only come back manufactured and to kill our children. So I want you to know, I want the president to know, that's a good thing. And I hope it brings great revenue to our Treasury. It should. We have passed on that at the expense of our children and at the expense of retailers.
Thank you.
So please take that back. And finally, I guess I want to tell you, do you know when we met? I don't know if you remember. We met once in Davos. We had a very interesting conversation. And you told me some of your backstory. And this goes back to where I started with stability. I think it is very well known that when you began college, Your father died. And what a trying time that must have been because your mother had predeceased. And you were at Haverford, very near my district. And Haverford College said, stay. You stay. Get your education. And you did. And they offered you that stability at a time when you must have needed it most. I had a similar experience. My father died when I was in my 3rd semester of college, suddenly of a heart attack. Difficult. We were all wobbling for quite a while. But his company offered scholarships to kids who lost their parents. And I got a scholarship to go to law school, offering me stability that I had no idea I would ever lean upon. I take you back to that, because what have you done in the meantime? You've rewarded Haverford. You're making sure that other kids get that stability. Please take that back into your work in the Department of Commerce. You know stability is what our consumers, our constituents, our businesses, our banks need. This is not stability. It is an incoherent tariff policy that is costing every single one of us.